What if I told you some mistakes happen in seconds and then it takes years pretending they never happened? On October 17th, the sky over Crestfall tore itself open. Rain didn't fall that night. It attacked like it had never happened before. In fact, thunder didn't rumble. It roared like something ancient had been awakened. Lightning cracked across the sky, violent and blinding, turning midnight into flashes of harsh white colors. Everyone was scared. But inside Crestfall Women's Hospital, two mothers were in labor trying to bring two lives to this world. And without anyone realizing it, two other lives were about to fracture. High above the city streets, in a private maternity suite wrapped in soft gold lighting and polished marble floors, Dr. Cynthia Wilson fought through her final contraction. She had spent her life saving hearts. Tonight, hers felt like it might burst.
Sweetheart, I am in pain. I want this baby to come out safe.
Everything will be all right. It will soon.
"Edward!" she gasped. Her husband tightened his grip around her trembling fingers. Edward Wilson, calm, calculated, respected, looked terrified. Not of the storm or of the hospital, but of losing the woman he loved. As the contractions increased, so was the crack of thunder. The lights flickered. For a suspended second, everything went still. Even machines blinked, shadows shifted, the world held its breath. And then, a cry pierced through the room, strong, defiant, alive. Cynthia collapsed back against the pillow, tears spilling freely now. Her daughter, their miracle! But immediately, due to the extreme weather condition, the baby was rushed to the NICU for further observation. They named her Rebbeca Wilson, royal daughter that is crowned with wealth. In that warm room filled with soft golden light, it felt like destiny had unfolded perfectly. But destiny had taken a wrong turn. 3 floors below, under colder lights and thinner walls, Rebbeca Virelli gripped the edge of her hospital bed as pain consumed her. The storm outside made the windows tremble. Her husband Dante stood beside her.
It hurts so much.
Stay strong, my love. I'm praying for us.
You're doing great. The baby's heart rate is steady.
"Stay with me," he whispered. Not because he doubted her strength, but because she was everything. Lightning illuminated the room in harsh blue flashes. Another contraction tore through her. She screamed, and then another cry filled the hospital air. Soft and fragile, but just as real. "It's a girl," the doctor said again. Dante covered his face and wept. They named her Elowen Seraphina Virelli, an elm tree with fiery wings, strong roots, and quiet fire. In that small room with flickering lights and peeling paint, love filled every corner. 2 mothers, 2 fathers, 2 daughters, born minutes apart under the same sky and in the same hospital. Nurse Carla moved quickly between floors. She had been working nearly 16 hours. Her shoes hurt and her temples throbbed, and the storm had turned the hospital into chaos. Phones were ringing, emergency alarms echoing, staff running. She guided both newborn girls in separate basins down a dim hallway. The lights flickered again, harder this time. For a suspended second, the hallway fell into near darkness. Lightning flashed through the tall windows. White light exploded across the floor. Carla glanced down at the babies. 2 tiny faces, eyes closed, mouths parted in soft newborn breaths. 2 wristbands, 2 names. Another alarm blared. "Carla, room 204 is crashing." Her heart jumped. She pushed the basins forward. One wheel caught slightly against the seam in the tile floor. A small jolt, a near invisible shift. One wrist tag loosened, slipped. Carla didn't notice. Thunder exploded overhead. She grabbed the first basin
Almost there,
and
sweetie.
rushed
Just a
into
bit
the
more.
private suite upstairs. Cynthia reached out immediately. The baby was placed into her arms. Edward bent down and kissed her daughter's forehead. Neither of them looked at the wristband. They were looking at her face and were looking at the future. Carla hurried back down the hallway, breath uneven now. She delivered the second baby into Mirella's waiting arms. Mirella cried softly, pressing trembling lips against her daughter's forehead. Dante wrapped his arm around them both. The room felt complete as Carla stepped backward. Something inside her tightened, a whisper of doubt. She looked down at the percents because something felt misaligned, but she couldn't explain it. She checked the clipboard quickly. The storm roared again, shaking the building. Another nurse shouted her name. Carla hesitated just for a second. Then she turned and ran toward the emergency. Minutes later, as the chaos briefly settled, she walked back down the hallway, and that's when she saw it. A small white strip lying against the polished floor, half wet, ink beginning to blur. She bent down slowly, picked it up. Her breath stopped. No, 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 no. She looked toward the stairwell. She could go back and try to check and fix before discharge and all the paperwork. Her heart pounded so loudly she could hear it in her ears. But down the corridor, another emergency code was called. Life and death waiting. Carla looked at the small wristband again, and then at the quiet rooms where two mothers were now whispering lullabies. She swallowed. Just until morning, she told herself, until things calmed down. She slipped the wristband into her pocket. Morning arrived gently. Sunlight streamed through hospital windows as if nothing had happened, as if the storm had not rearranged destiny. Paperwork was finalized, footprints were stamped, even photos were taken, birth certificates printed. The Edwards left in a sleek black car, their daughter secured in luxury. The Virellis left in a slightly rusted sedan, driving carefully through rain-slick streets. Two cars moved in opposite directions, carrying daughters who did not share their blood. Carla stood at the hospital entrance, watching both vehicles disappear. Her stomach twisted. She told herself someone would catch it. DNA tests or routine audits, something, just anything. But no phone call came, no alarm rang, no system flagged an error. The storm became a story people joked about. They said, the night the sky lost its mind. But no one spoke about the night two lives were quietly exchanged. Carla tried to forget, tried to bury the memory beneath paperwork and long shifts. But sometimes, when lightning flashed outside hospital windows, she would see two basins in a dark hallway and a wristband slipping silently into the wrong future. But on that storm-filled night, a truth began to wait. And the most dangerous truths are the ones that wait patiently, because when they finally rise, they don't whisper, they shatter.